Mayat pagsurip sa kanyo tanan. This afternoon, we are going to discuss our lesson in science integrated in our government trust, climate change, preparedness of the country in the calamities, and disaster. Okay, let us start with our priming activity. Before we proceed to our video presentation, let us first be guided by our standards in viewing a video. Number 1, be quiet and stay on your seat while watching the video. Number 2, remember all the important details shown in the video. And number 3, be prepared to share your insights or understanding about the video presented. Is that all right, class?
Earth is a beautiful planet. But some natural disasters are so terrible they could cause anybody nightmares. Welcome to our channel, and today we'll be taking a look at the most dangerous natural disasters in the world. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to turn on notifications for more great videos like this one. We're kicking off our list with the landslide, which is a very common natural disaster in the United States. Every year in the United States, they cause significant damages and 25 to 50 deaths. Globally, landslides cause billions of dollars in damages and thousands of deaths and injuries each year. Landslides are a geological activity in which falling of rocks and soil occur down a slope of land. Heavy rain, small earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and of course, the gravitational forces are the driving forces of landslides. The human activities like mining, construction, and quarrying also can cause landsliding. Landslides cause property damage, injury, and death, and adversely affect a variety of resources. Areas that are prone to landslides include existing old landslides, the bases of steep slopes, the bases of drainage channels, and developed hillsides where leach field septic systems are used. 9th place, lightning. Lightning might seem like something a bit common when compared to other cataclysmic disasters we've seen in this list. Due to the collision between ice-gained cloud formation of charges will take place at beneath of clouds. Once charge concentrated at any point on Earth, a sudden flow of electricity will pass. It can be mountains, trees, animals, or humans. Lightning has temperatures of up to 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun, which is precisely why they are so dangerous. Scarily enough, there are hundreds of lightning strikes in every second on Earth that have enough power to destroy everything within no time. The presence of dark clouds in the sky is an indication of lightning. Thunder also sounds this disaster. Lightning mainly hits in areas where instability of environment, variation of temperature, or pressure occurs. 8th place, wildfires. In the 8th spot of our list, we have wildland fires. There are 3 different kinds of wildland fires, with surface fires being the most common. Ground fires are ones caused by lightning, while crown fires jump along the tops of trees and are spread rapidly by wind. More than 4 out of every 5 wildland fires are started by people. Negligent human behavior, such as smoking in forested areas or improperly extinguishing campfires, is the cause of many wildland fires. Small fires can wipe out whole communities all by their own. Simply take a look at the Australian wildfires of 2020, which caused massive loss of habitat and wildlife while burning for weeks. 7th place, hurricanes. Hurricanes are incredibly rapid storm systems that hit over tropical areas. Hurricanes will spread across 600 miles and rotate inward and upward at 70 to 200 miles per hour. Hurricanes are formed when ocean water with temperatures above 80 degrees Fahrenheit and wind blows in the same direction of that upward force. The evaporation of seawater also increases the force of the hurricane. Hurricanes can cause extreme property damage, similar to tornadoes, even though they're created and work differently. 6th place, floods. The next disaster we'll be talking about today is the flood. Floods are extremely frequent and also very costly, which is why they rank so highly in our countdown. Floods, on average, kill more than 100 people and are responsible for $4.6 billion in damage in the United States each year. Several factors contribute to flooding. 2 key elements are rainfall intensity and duration. Intensity is the rate of rainfall, and the duration is how long the rain lasts. Topography, soil conditions, and ground cover also play important roles. Flooding occurs in known floodplains when prolonged rainfall over several days, intense rainfall over a short period of time, or an ice or debris jam causes a river or stream to overflow and flood the surrounding area. Fifth place, thunderstorm. Thunderstorms are up next, being the natural personification of a pint-sized powerhouse. Despite their small size, all thunderstorms are dangerous. Every thunderstorm produces lightning, which kills more people each year than tornadoes and hurricanes. Each year, many people are killed or seriously injured by severe thunderstorms despite advanced warning. While some did not hear the warning, others heard the warning but did not heed it. Thunderstorms cause a lot of lightning, which is what we mentioned earlier to be incredibly dangerous on its own. Add flooding and strong winds to it, and you have one of the most deadly natural disasters in the world. Next up, we have the tsunami. Tsunamis are formed as a cause of earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or other oceanic disturbances. Tsunami tides have heights of hundreds of meters and large wavelengths. Such tidal waves will travel thousands of miles and mainly hit coastal areas. Tsunamis have greater speeds in the deep water of the ocean. However, while their speed decreases when they approach coastal areas, their height grows exponentially. Tsunamis can cause great loss of life and property damage in coastal areas. Very large tsunamis can cause damage to coastal regions thousands of miles away from the earthquake that caused them. Beaches, lagoons, bays, estuaries, tidal flats, and river mouths are the most dangerous places to be. Third place, tornado. In the third spot of our list, we have tornadoes. A tornado is a violently rotating column of air extending from the base of a thunderstorm to the ground. Tornadoes' intensities are classified on the Fujita scale with ratings between 0 and 5, using actual damage to determine a tornado's wind speed. A storm of F0 is the weakest and F5 is the strongest. Different winds may be needed to cause the same damage depending on how well built a structure is, wind direction, wind duration, battering by flying debris, and other factors. Tornadoes usually develop from severe thunderstorms in warm, moist, unstable air along and ahead of cold fronts. Such thunderstorms may generate large hail and damaging winds. When intense springtime storm systems produce large, persistent areas that support tornado development, major outbreaks can occur. Tornadoes have enough power to destroy the entire city and uproot trees. Such violent storms can be found within all continents except Antarctica. Tornado Alley, aka the region that covers North Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, is the most tornado-prone area in the world. Second place, volcanoes. In the second spot of our countdown, we have volcanoes. Of course, volcanoes come to mind when we start talking about natural disasters. They are everything one might think is dangerous when you analyze them thoroughly. A volcano is a vent through which molten rock escapes to the Earth's surface. Unlike other mountains which are pushed up from below, volcanoes are built by surface accumulation of their eruptive products, layers of lava flows, ash flows, and ash. When pressure from gases within the molten rock becomes too great, gases drive the molten rock to the surface and an eruption occurs. In the past few thousand years, the volcanoes of the Cascade Mountain Range, which stretches from Northern California into British Columbia, have produced more than 100 eruptions, most of them explosive. However, individual Cascade Range volcanoes can lie dormant for many centuries between eruptions, and the great risk posed by volcanic activity in the region is therefore not always apparent. Volcanic tremor, small earthquakes near a volcano, ejection of steam and gases are all indications of volcanic eruptions. First place, earthquakes. An earthquake is a sudden rapid shaking of the earth caused by the breaking and shifting of rock beneath the earth's surface. For hundreds of millions of years, the forces of plate tectonics have shaped the earth as the huge plates that form the surface move slowly over, under, past, and away from each other. Sometimes the movement is gradual. At other times, the plates are locked together, unable to release the accumulating energy as they bend or stretch. When the forces grow strong enough, the plates suddenly break free, causing the ground to shake. The ground shaking caused by earthquakes may cause landslides, mudslides, and avalanches on steeper hills or mountains, all of which can damage buildings and hurt people. The second main earthquake hazard is ground displacement along faults, which may end up creating a sinkhole and also cause even more property damage. So the earthquake itself can be quite dangerous, but even more dangerous can be the aftermath and the aftershocks post-earthquake. So, what are your thoughts on these incredibly dangerous natural disasters that could happen at any time?
Are you moved by our video lesson? Now, how prepared are we as a country in the occurrence of the disaster or calamity? Can you think of it? Now, let us discuss the following questions. How do you feel after watching the video? What events touched you most? Have you experienced this kind of situation too? If yes, what have you done before, during, and after this calamity to save your life and properties? What happened to the environment after the calamity? What can you do to help injured people, animals, and plants? How do the government agencies like DSWD, NDRRMC, and local government units help the victims of calamities? Do you think that assistance from government agencies enough to provide intensive services for the recovery and rehabilitation of the victims? As a student, what can you contribute to help our country in times of calamities or disasters? How did Filipinos cope with the effects of these calamities or disasters? Now, we are going to go outside the classroom. But before that, let us be reminded by the following standards to be followed. Avoid unnecessary noise in getting in and out of the classroom. Number 2, be with the group. Number 3, bring notebook and pen. Number 4, work on the assigned task. And number 5, be mindful on the allotted time. Is everybody here now? Now, let us discuss the observation checklist that you have accomplished. Number 1, the sun is bright and shiny. 2, the clouds are thick and dark. Number 3, the wind blows so hard. Number 4, the leaves and their branches are falling from the trees. Number 5, thunderclaps can be heard. Number 6, there is a flash of lightning. Number 7, it is raining hard and the soil is muddy. 8, it is very hot and humid. 9, it is calm. 10, it is a cloudy day. How was your observation, class? Okay, grade 5, you are going to have an activity. This is the think, pair, and share. From the observation checklist given to you, pick out the sentences that describe a good condition of the environment. Write your answers in a clean sheet of paper and explain your observations in 2 or 3 sentences. And then example, the sun is bright and shiny. You are going to write your explanation. Here is your activity. You will be guided by your little teacher here. Okay. And then grade 6, look at these pictures. Have you seen that in the news? Okay, now, what do you feel after seeing the picture? What happened to the surroundings? Okay, good job. Okay, grade 6, before I shift to the grade 5, here is your activity. Check the statements that describe the Earth's surface before an earthquake. Is that all right? Okay, grade 5. Let us discuss the observation checklist you have answered. Okay, very good. You have answered well the observation checklist. Climate change caused the human activities that emit greenhouse gases into the air is expected to affect the frequency of extreme weather events such as drought, hot temperatures, flooding, high winds, and severe storms. Calamities like typhoon, earthquake, and volcanic eruption can cause a great loss to life and property. They may destroy structures such as buildings, bridges, and dams. They can also cause landslides. Now, how prepared are we as a country in the occurrence of a disaster or calamity? Okay, look at the picture. Here is the School Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Manual. In here, the Department of Education shall offer training in the disaster preparedness. And this government agency is the Philippine Red Cross. One of the projects of Red Cross is the provision of first aid training for the medics of the Philippine Army, health and welfare, and voluntary blood donation. Before I leave you grade 5, you are going to watch a video presentation on how rocks turn into soil. Before watching the video, let us consider first the following standards. Be quiet and stay on your seat while watching the video. Number 2, remember all the important details shown in the video. Number 3, be prepared to share your insights or understanding about the video presented. Let us check it first. Activity, check the statements that describe the Earth's surface before an earthquake. Number 1, the weather is fine. Number 2, the soil is dry. Number 3, the buildings collapsed and there were falling debris everywhere. Number 4, the trees are intact and the soil is firm. Number 5, strong wind blows and the branches of trees are swaying. Okay, job well done. Okay, now grade 6, let us discuss the following. What is tsunami? Do you know about the tsunami? Okay, a tsunami is a series of waves caused by earthquakes or undersea volcanic eruptions. Tsunamis are giant waves caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions under the sea. Out in the depths of the ocean, tsunami waves do not dramatically increase in height, but as the waves travel inland, they build up to higher and higher heights as the depth of the ocean speed of tsunami waves depends on ocean depth rather than the distance from the source of the wave. Tsunami waves may travel as fast as jet planes over deep waters, only slowing down when reaching shallow waters. While tsunamis are often referred to as tidal waves, this name is discouraged by oceanographers because tides have little to do with these giant waves. Now, how does tsunami differ from the tidal waves? Okay, good job. These terms, tidal wave and tsunamis, refer to the same natural phenomenon, an unusually large ocean wave caused by an earthquake, underwater landslide, or other large disturbance. They are not, however, used interchangeably, and tsunami is now the preferred term. In the Western world, the term tidal wave was initially used to describe this phenomenon because it behaves in much the way a tide would, a large wall of water pushing its way inland, and not usually the giant crashing waves that many picture. They are often more like a very rapidly rising tide accompanied by underwater turbulence. Since they can be observed as very rapid tides, the term tidal wave was coined to reference them as early as the 1870s. Okay. There are some that would argue that tidal wave refers to a wave associated with tide movement, but I have never heard it used in this context by any expert in the field. When standing waves are generated by the tidal current moving into a restricted, example given the narrow waterway, they are referred to as tidal bores. Okay, do you get it, class? Before I shift into the grade 5, let us watch an interactive video lesson about earthquakes and volcanoes. But before watching it, let us consider first the following standards. Number 1, be quiet and stay on your seat while watching the video. Number 2, remember all the important details shown in the video. Number 3, be prepared to share your insights or understanding about the video presented. Okay, grade 6, you will be assisted by your little teacher. Any one of you can manipulate our laptop because this is an interactive video lesson.
An earthquake is the shaking of the ground due to natural disturbances coming from within the earth. The vibrations, or shaking movements, travel at slow or high speeds through the earth. The motion of the ground may cause buildings to sway and fall. The point where the vibration starts is the focus of the earthquake. The point on the surface of the earth above the focus is the epicenter. So why do we have earthquakes? Let's look at Japan, a country that has a lot of earthquakes. These earthquakes happen mainly because the plate that Japan rests on and the floor of the Pacific Ocean press against each other. This sometimes causes the land to shake. The floor of the Pacific Ocean is slowly pushing forward and creeping under the plate of land upon which Japan rests. As it does, it tries to drag the edge of the Japan plate with it. This crustal movement is called subduction. The Japan plate doesn't want to be pushed and dragged like that. The Japan plate resists, trying hard to get back to its original position, and small tremors or earthquakes are felt. If the Japan plate gets pushed too far, it may suddenly snap back to its original position. This will result in a very strong earthquake. Still other crustal movements cause earthquakes or tremors. Powerful forces are at work within the earth. These forces may sometimes cause rocks to break. A break or crack along which rocks move is called a fault. Earthquakes also occur as a volcano erupts. The Earth's crust moves because of the energy released by an erupting volcano. Fantastic!
Oh, you got 4. You may repeat it. Try again. And here's the other one, the volcanoes.
Volcanoes are openings from the Earth's crust where lava and other materials are ejected. Liquid rock from within the Earth sometimes forces its way through the crust. Many volcanoes are most likely formed along plate boundaries where one plate is descending or subducting into the Earth. During subduction, rock becomes sufficiently heated to become liquid rock. Liquid rock from deep within the Earth forces its way through the crust. As this liquid rock cools, it piles up higher and higher around the opening of the crust. How does a volcano erupt? Since many volcanoes are found near plate boundaries, volcanic eruptions are caused by what happens deep in the Earth's crust along these boundaries. As the crustal plate subducts under another plate, heat and pressure cause the rock to become liquid rock. Hot liquid rock deep in the Earth is called magma. Magma sometimes forces its way up to the surface of the crust, especially if it becomes too hot. Magma, once it reaches the surface of the Earth, becomes lava. The opening opening from which lava erupts is called a vent. How much did you learn today? How about answering the following exercises?
Okay, grade 5. How do plants and animals cause weathering and erosion? Okay. Soil is obtained from a process called weathering. Even the clay used for making clay pots is a result of weathering. Huge boulders and rocks break down over a period of time to form particles of soil or sand. There are various types of weathering like physical or mechanical weathering as well as chemical weathering. When rocks and minerals decay away naturally on the Earth's surface, weathering is caused. Weathering caused by animals and plants. Sometimes chemical processes break down rocks, and at times physical forces break down rocks. At times both the processes work leading to weathering. Living organisms besides air and water are also responsible in breaking boulders and rocks. When weathering is caused by animals and plants, it is termed as biological weathering. A large number of animals also make tunnels through hard rocks and under the ground. Surface rocks also get crushed when animals tread on them and also deposit materials of organic nature which interact with the minerals in rocks, thus causing weathering over a period of time. Even earthworms make tunnels in the ground which leads to breakdown of stones and rocks over a period of time. Plants are responsible for chemical and mechanical weathering both. Lichen and weathering moss grow on rock surfaces and releases chemicals. Minerals from the rocks get dissolved due to these chemicals. Plant roots at times grow deep into the cracks present in the rocks. As the plants and the roots grow thick and go deep in search of water for survival, the rocks begin to break. Even during cultivation, the rocks are exposed to water and air, which are also agents of weathering. The broken rocks, due to constant exposure to air and water, keep breaking down and decreasing the size of rocks, leading to formation of soil. Rocks have small crevices in which seeds may fall and grow into plants. Roots of the plants are quite strong to split the rock. This process is called as root wedging. Some of the plants and trees also release chemicals that are acidic in nature and cause weathering of soil, rocks, and minerals present around them. Water is responsible also for weathering. Plants and trees have an effect on the way water weathers away soils and rocks. Water gets channelized in different directions due to trees and plants causing weathering. Impact of rain falling on the ground gets influenced by the trees and plants. Plants also have an effect on the speed and direction of wind near the ground surface. Okay, now, erosion caused by plants and animals. Both animals and plants impact the landscape on a large scale by moving soil, rocks, making dents, digging tunnels, blocking, or rivers, changing the course of the rivers, and etc. Human civilization has been expanding on a large scale and has impacted the surroundings a lot. The organizational and technological advances made have altered the natural form of the earth. Rivers are also being straightened. Water bodies and lakes too are being created, and expansion of beaches is prevented, and etc., which also have side effects like erosion. Okay, now let us discuss how plants break down rocks and how man or animals break down rocks. Okay, you will be having your activity. This activity is shower them all. Okay, we have already checked the materials ahead of time. We have the Manila paper, tape, and marker for your group output. Now, emphasize the use of senses in doing the activity. You are going to use your 5 senses. What to do? Number 1, make a sand pyramid on the top of the plastic cover. Number 2, design the toy houses, trees, and grasses around the sand pyramid. Make a rain using the strainer and water on the pyramid for 5 seconds and 10 seconds. So we have already built our sand pyramid. Here is the pictures. Okay, grade 5, I will transfer to the grade 6. Do well your activity. Okay, you have done the activity in the evaluation in the interactive video. So let us proceed. Earthquakes change habitats in subtle ways. For example, if an earthquake's epicenter is near a forest, it may knock trees down. When this happens, it allows sunlight to penetrate the canopy, which allows the growth of different types of plants. These new plants support a new population of animals. Sometimes, earthquakes can create new habitats, ecosystems, and ultimately, species. For instance, if a portion of the coastline breaks away from the mainland during an earthquake, it will take all of the plants and animals along with it. Over time, the habitat will change in subtle ways, which will necessitate adaptation by the flora and fauna. Earthquakes can also bring land masses together, which can have serious consequences. For example, the Indian subcontinent slumped into the ocean continent millions of years ago due to quake causing tectonic motion. When this happened, plants and animals were immediately forced to compete with a plethora of a new species. Over time, the dominant species overwhelms the subordinate species and equilibrium is reached. Okay, now let us watch a video of Taal volcano eruption and effects on the area it is situated.
Ay, kami naliligo.
Saan?
Yung sa may tabi sa isla.
Ayoko nga ano. May naliligo pa oh. Ayun nga oh, yun oh. Hindi mo nakikita? Lumalangoy. Dalawa. May lumalangoy pa oh, yun oh. Sa loob oh. Ayun oh. JR, let's go na JR. Sasabog yan JR.
make a song, pantomime the effects of earthquakes on buildings, bridges, crops, lives of people, and animals. Group 2, draw, make a song, or pantomime the effects of the volcanic eruptions. Okay. Please be reminded to work with the group cooperatively, listen and understand the direction of your leader, perform your group activity orderly, and be ready to present your collaborative output. Everyone will be given this rubric in assessing group performance in simple science activity. Okay, the direction is, assess your group performance in accomplishing the task provided. Is it clear? Okay, grade 5, since you are done with your activity, let us discuss now the following questions. Number 1, what happens to the setup when you pour water on it for 5 seconds? How about for 10 seconds? Number 2, what made the soil erode or wear away? Number 3, when the soil loosens up and erodes, what happens to the houses and trees? Number 4, what are the effects of soil erosion made by water or rain? Number 5, how would you reduce soil erosion caused by water or rain? Now, here's your activity. Complete the tables based on the activity. Soil erosion by rain or water. On this side, harmful effects to living things and environment. And here, ways to prevent or reduce the harmful effects. Now that you have learned the harmful effects of soil erosion to living things and environment, how would you show your concern to our environment? What are the things you can do to show love and concern to your environment? Write it on a bond paper and we will post it in our freedom wall. Okay, now you are going to have this activity, the same with the grade 5. Complete the sentences below. I can help our country in times of calamity by, and I promise to. Okay, imagine this scenario. The ground moves suddenly. Then it moves again and again, strongly and sharply. Buildings sway and some even collapse. Concrete bridges and flyovers collapse. Falling debris trap people in the streets. Okay. What must you do when your place is hit by an earthquake or volcanic eruption? How should you take it? Okay, now you are going to have this activity, the same with the grade 5. Complete the sentences below. I can help our country in times of calamity by, and I promise to. Okay, using this concept map, describe how rocks turn into soil. And grade 6, let us do this. Let's spin the wheel. We have here a wheel which consists of pictures. You are going to spin it and look for the image it will stop. All you need to do is to describe what happened in the picture and its probable cause. Okay, now let us spin the wheel. Okay, another one. Another one. Okay, now answer the following questions. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Okay, teacher leader, you may take over here. Choose which way you can describe how rocks turn into soil and how to reduce the harmful effects of soil erosion on living things and environment. You can make it on drawing, poem, or in a form of song. For more additional activities, watch video clips for some clippings of the effect of soil erosion in the environment. I will give you the links. Okay, grade 6, for your additional activities, watch video clips for more clippings of the effect of earthquake and volcanic eruption. Okay, if you're done copying with your additional activities, everybody stand up. And that ends our lesson for today.